Yo guys, what's up? Another iconic weapon for today's review that has been used for over 75 years. Some people may think that the legendary Sten gun was a German creation, but it's actually an invention of the Brits. The name Sten itself is an acronym, a combination of initials of the chief designers. The S stands for Major Reginald V. Shepard. The T refers to Harold Turpin, and the last two letters, E and N, of course, stand for Enfield, the infamous London borough. The Sten is a blowback-operated open-bolt submachine gun, which means that it's a self-loading firearm that obtains energy from the motion of the cartridge case as it is pushed to the rear by expanding gas created by the ignition of the propellant charge. Propellant is a chemical substance used in the production of energy or pressurized gas. In order to produce the gas, propellants are burned or decomposed, seeing that they consist of a fuel type and an oxidizer. That's very technical stuff. The first Sten gun was produced in 1941, and lots of variants were added to the original creation, from Mark I to Mark VI. The cost for one unit was only $10, extremely cheap to produce. In total, between 3.7 and 4.6 million of them were made, depending on the source you get your intel from, so let's say around 4 million. Now, at the start of the video I said the Sten has been in use for more than 75 years, and it was even used in the Syrian civil war, but the service years date back to the 1960s. Various underground resistance group factories have been copying the design ever since, and you would be surprised if you know how easy it is to recreate a simple standard issue firearm. The Sten gun is chambered in a 9x19mm Parabellum cartridge that has to be placed into the left side of the gun. The effective firing range of the Sten is 100 meters, which is pretty far actually. Depending on the version you use, it has a fire rate between 500 and 600 rounds per minute. Lots of manufacturers built Stens throughout the years, and one of them was Wijns Brothers Limited, a toy company. Also BSA in Birmingham and the county of Berkshire manufactured Sten guns in the past, as well as the Canadian Long Branch in the city of Toronto in the Ontario province. After its service in World War II, the Sten was used in lots of Asian wars and a few clashes in the Middle East as well. The most iconic places it saw were of course Korea, Vietnam, Laos and Lebanon, but it was also used in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, also known as the Israeli War of Independence. This conflict was a part of the Palestine War fought between 1947 and 1949. The remaining European Jews were relocated after World War II to former British Palestine, but were not exactly welcomed by the Arab nations. A military coalition of Arab states fought the newly declared state of Israel from May 15, 1948 until March 10, 1949. But the tension is still very high today in the region, especially because American President Donald Trump declared that the holy city of Jerusalem is Jewish property. Not only the British Mandate of Palestine was a war location, but also the Sinai Peninsula and southern Lebanon. Israel prevailed against Egypt and Palestinian Arabia, leading up to the 1949 Armistice Agreement concluded on July 20th of 1949. Also, Jordan had seen a partial victory, even though Jordan was a part of the Arab League fighting against Israel. Also, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen and Saudi Arabia belonged to the Arab League that had a total of around about 60,000 combatants, while Israel could count on 117,500 fighters, nearly double that amount. They lost around 4,000 fighters and 2,400 civilians to the war. And just to end my story on the Sten gun and the Arab-Israeli war, Jews were already living in the area before World War II as well, and were very dissatisfied by the creation of the British Mandate in 1920. The Jewish insurgency in Palestine had already been going on from 1944 and erupted into a civil war late 1947, to be transformed into an interstate war with the Arab League on May 15, 1948. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.